decided I want to go back under the boat.
Hey, go, Big Daddy! You know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time for the morning briefing!
Woo! Fish boiling right there!
Back up there, it's got a hot one coming down. I want you.
Get him, Gifford! It's full speed here!
Oh, biter!
There, biting! Another biter! Oh my God, we're hanging the whole boat here! Woo!
Come here, who's got cover?
It's full speed!
Right there.
Nice fish!
Nice one, dude.
Cal, way to go, buddy!
Thank you.
Nice going, everybody!
Woo! Look at this guy.
Come on, let's get these things, Gifford. Nice going! Boil! Look at these fish! Multiples going!
Step to your right.
Hey, you guys know when it's wide open? When John Karma's on a fish. That's when it's wide open. Max on a
Even the old
fish.
man's on a fish.
Fresh one. They are nibbling here. Look at the fish blow up there in the bow. Oh, what's going on? Cliff. Cliff. Cliff.
Yo!
Woo!
Change your bait, guys.
Ah, it came off.
What's your one? What's it get? Coming down. Over you. All right. Coming up, guys.
See you, Jimbo?
Yes, sir.
Nice
Yes,
going. That was
sir.
fast, man.
Woo!
That was fast. Wow, nice fish. Full speed.
Beauty.
Nice going, my friend.
Thank you, sir. What number?
Beautiful. How's it going there?
Good, good.
Man, it's full speed here. Look at this. I'm loving this.
Keep going. Port side. 24? 25? It's right here. Look behind here.
Nice. Oh my God, what a bitchin' fish that is.
Yeah!
Hey, congrats.
Thank you,
Good job, man. That's a pitching fish.
Thank you.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Hey, this is my area. Go back.
You know what time it is?
It's time to bring a fish on the boat. It's time for the morning briefing. Go to your left. Follow me.
Might need to check the drag.
Floating, hurry up.
Got it, baby.
Woo! Whoa!
20-pounder to
Nice,
J-hook.
good job. Vern, what are you doing?
Fishing on another Friedman Adventure.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is Saturday morning. It's a little foggy and overcast, but there is no wind, and it's absolutely beautiful. A blessing to be standing here on this beach with you all this morning. I hope you enjoyed the lead-in, just some random cuts from our most recent trip on board the Apollo. Man, was that a lot of fun, principally because of all of you who showed up for that great trip. That was an extraordinary group of people because they were so fun-loving and so much fun to spend time with. I deeply appreciate all of you. And by the way, I am still working on the larger video of that trip. There is so much footage that I'm cutting up. I hope to have that out Sunday evening. Here this morning, I already released an interview I did with Captain Jeff Jessup, a dear friend of mine up in the wheelhouse of the Apollo. And you can check that out now. But that's not the end of it. There's a lot of footage And I tried, Mackie and I, to get each and every one of you in that video. So give me a little while. Might be past Sunday, but I hope to get it all finished up and released by Sunday afternoonish, something like that. If you don't mind, hit that like button. Deeply appreciate it when you do that. Share these videos with a friend. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. We're also over there on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. It is so great to be with you all. All right, let's jump into it. We'll start out on the long range scene right now, where long range fishing has been spectacular, and it remains that way. 7-8 day trips this summer have been really good, maybe the best it's been in decades. And it's not been bad. It was just phenomenal this year, principally because of the amount of yellowfin tuna. Pretty much limits every single day, but the grade of fish down there around Alejos and the ridge and surrounding areas, 23 fathom slot, all those little spots that make up the ridge, man, 40 to 70, 80 pound fish, sometimes over 100 pounds. Really great grade of fish. They're still wahoo biting, and we think that's going to get better and better and better. At least my fingers are kind of crossed, because we have an 8-day trip that's been sold out for about a year coming up on the Independence. That is going to be so much fun. And the yellowtail fishing down there has also been really good. A lot of guys had been going in on the beach and fishing more yellowtail and big calico bass, sheephead, rockfish, that kind of thing. And some guys also end up out here around Tanner or west of San Clemente Island fishing bluefin tuna. So there's a variety of stuff going on the long range scene, and it has been all good. Really, really good stuff. We have a 5-day trip coming up in April on the Independence of 25, and we would love to see you on that trip. Make sure you give Paulina, one of the nicest people on the face of the earth, at Independence Sport Fishing, a call and find out more information or book that trip here today. All right, let me jump you up and take you to the coastal Mexican town of beautiful Ensenada, about a 70-mile drive south of the border. You cross in at San Isidro into Tijuana, and then you take the toll road down there, about an hour and a half drive. It's beautiful. Driving by the Coronado Island, stopping for a fish taco. I got to stop. I'm going to talk myself into doing that right now. Jumping in the car and going to Baja. It's been way too long. Down there in Ensenada, there's a little bit, like that much of the offshore bite going on down there. Every once in a while, somebody will pop off a bluefin or two. What happened to our fall bite on yellowfin tuna? Just non-existent. I mean, there's a few fish here and there, but it certainly hasn't manifested itself here in any big numbers. So offshore's been dicey. Inshore, great rock fishing. Occasional nice hit on the yellowtail under the birds. Birds are working that bait that the yellows are forcing to the surface. You're running and gunning. In other words, you're going full rack and a ponga right up on those yellowtail and throwing a surface on like a Tatty 45 and hoping for a bite. But a lot of fallback on the rockfish. Nothing wrong with that. You'll go home with some great table fare and some great eating fish. But that is predominantly what has been happening down there. All right, time to talk bluefin tuna out there around Tanner Bank, Cortez Bank, west of San Clemente Island. And you know, those things have tails and they move. I highly recommend you go back and take a listen to the interview I did with Jeff Jessup. It released this morning, just dropped. Jeff's a great guy, been a friend for 35 or so years. I mean, when I was doing 976 tuna and had a busy work day, I take Patrick and Philip, my two sons, and I'd drive right down there to Redondo on the Spitfire, and I'd say, go see your babysitter for the day. And Jeff would take the boys out and tutor them in sport fishing, and they'd have a great time. Way better than sitting around with Dad at home while he was doing all the research I had to do for 976 tuna. So really a dear friend of mine. Check that out. He's got some great tackle tips. You'll see some of the action we experienced and so much more. All right, out there it is very inconsistent, and you know, you go from fantastic fishing like we had on our Apollo trip. I mean, we rolled up on schools of fish with bluefin jumping everywhere. I mean, 30 to 40 pound average fish to over 100 pounds. We rolled up into this clean, warmer water, and it was game on. We had a dozen fish going right out of the get-go wide open. And then you look at the subsequent day, and it had slowed way up. And it's kind of vacillating between that. I would say maybe it's a little slower than it is like those wide open kind of bites. It has slowed down a great deal. It's bluefin. I don't know if it's moon phase. I don't know if it's oceanography, like water temperatures. I don't know if it's bait supply. I don't know anything about bluefin tuna because nobody does. They're really enigmatic and hard to figure out. So the best may be yet to come. I mean, we've had some killer Novembers, some killer Octobers on that bluefin tuna. So fingers are crossed that that's right around the corner. And of course, during those months, you get best weather and you get way less boat pressure. So that can all be good. Pacific Queen, day and a half trip, 15 guys, 14 bluefin tuna. Amigo out of 22nd Street Landing, day and a half trip, 17 bluefin for 15 anglers. Cortez on a 2.5 day trip out of Seaport Sport Fishing, 41 bluefin tuna. Scores are vacillating like that. Sometimes it's really good. Most of the time it's been slower here recently. You gotta get tough when those fish are tough. And by that I mean you gotta really take your time and choose a good hot bait. I know you're sick of hearing me say it. Some of you are having recurring nightmares about changing your bait now, but it's so important. And also dropping the fluoro that you're fishing down, like the 25-pound fluoro. Now, having said that, when it fired up, guys like Joe Martinez, who happens to be one of the best fishermen to walk the planet, Joe's a great angler, he got bit on the 60-pound. And then several guys, when we started hooking toward the end of our second day's fishing, we started hooking straight 60 to 100-pound bluefin tuna. Man, you can hook them all you want on a 25-pound, but good luck trying to land one. They're tough. So guys went to at least 40-pound. They were all getting bit, and a lot of those guys were catching some fish. So keep that all in mind. There's a little bit of nighttime fishing. It seems like, you know, the guys that are nighttime fishing, guys will get a few, and then one or two boats will get them to stick with them, and they'll put a score of 20 to 40 together on that BFT at night. And the size range, once again, can be like 10 pounds, like those little meat rockets, we call them, on up to 100 plus pounds, with the majority, it seems like, in that 25 to 40 pound class. Boats from San Diego to Ventura can access the zone where these fish are in if you're on a day and a half trip or better. So keep that in mind. The Taxman, Tim Marquez. If you're having any kind of tax problems, you don't want to call a great white shark. That's not what I mean by the Taxman. I mean, call Tim Marquez. He's been doing taxes for 35 years. He'll take great care of you. And if you have heating and or air conditioning needs, give John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning a call right now. So our bluefin tuna bite is a little inconsistent right now. We're going to be out here on the Amigo, I think next Sunday, a week from tomorrow. Really looking forward to that one. We might have one spot available, or you can get on the waiting list. One of those two. I'll figure it out here tomorrow to be sure. But if you wanted to get on that trip, maybe one or two spots and maybe full. But just send me a text and I'll put you on the list. When I figure it out, I'll get to you. 657-227-6459. That is going to be a lot of fun to see all my old friends there at our home base of 22nd Street Landing. 310-832-8304. Jerry Wade at 22nd Street Landing just did a great interview the other day. Go back and watch that. I think you will really enjoy that. So our offshore scene remains like that. Now I have to take you way up north to Half Moon Bay and Santa Cruz, California, because they have been putting the wood to some big bluefin tuna. Jens Meyerhoff is a dear friend of the Friedman Adventures family. You see Jens there with a couple 150-pound BFT. This guy is one hell of a fisherman. Jens, thanks for sharing that. When he's not offshore catching big bluefin tuna, and they've had it going on up there, most of the fish in the 100 to 200-pound class, really great stuff. When he's not doing that, he drops inshore and catches copious amounts of halibut, as you can see Jens right there. And guess what? Tomorrow, he's on a plane heading to Bahia Magdalena, Mag Bay, down there in beautiful Baja, California. And he's going to focus on wahoo and marlin and yellowfin and all that stuff. This guy is one heck of a fisherman. Jens, Don't leave me out of the loop on your Mag Bay adventure. I'm really looking forward to hearing about that. So some really great stuff going on there. No question about it. Hey, if you're going to Catalina Island, jump on the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. Fast, speedy boat, great crew, great galley. You're gonna love it. Long Beach Sport Fishing.org. And if you're headed out of Ventura Sport Fishing, remember, kids fish free tomorrow on board the Island Spirit with Captain Daniel Hottaway, dear friend of mine, and he always treats you like you deserve to be treated. Kids fish free tomorrow, VenturaSportFishing.com, or give them a call. Saul's up there in the ticket office waiting for your phone call right now. 805-676-3474. Great stuff. So that's our offshore scene. We still have that going on up there in the northern region, Half Moon Bay, Santa Cruz, Jens. Thanks for sharing that. That is some interesting stuff. Let's go to the islands down there around the Coronado Islands. Occasional hit on the yellowtail. There's still some bluefins in the mix in. Overall, it's been tough fishing. No question about it. The guys that fish yesterday scratched at a few yellows. Their bluefin overall was pretty tough. And the guys fishing the island itself, once again, can fall back on some lingcod, sculpin, rockfish, few calico bass. But it certainly has slowed up at the Coronado Islands after a tremendous year down there. It's been one of the best years I can ever remember. San Clemente Island, back there in the fog, past Catalina Island. If you're not familiar with the geography, it has been kind of okay. Most guys are fishing bluefin tuna. A few guys go in there and pick at the bass, catch an occasional yellowtail and an occasional white sea bass. A great year at Clemente also, which has slowed up. A lot of rockfish going on. At Catalina Island, the El Patron has been picking away at the bass, doing pretty darn good. Occasional yellowtail, an occasional barracuda or two, not many, just a little bit. Pursuit, 22nd Street, same thing. And then those guys are topping off with the rockfish. And up there in the Channel Islands, you see an occasional sea bass and halibut, but almost all rockfish right now. The Aloha Spirit had a white sea bass. The Island Fox had 3 halibut up there, but a lot of rockfish up there in that neck of the woods. Santa Barbara, we'll do this geographically. Santa Barbara, a lot of rockfish. Avila Beach, same thing. Morro Bay, same thing. Pretty good lingcod fishing up there in San Francisco with some good halibut, striped bass, a little bit of albacore still offshore, but not as much as there once was for most of the guys. There are occasional pretty good hits up there still going on. All right, let's take a look at the situation closer to home. I'm talking half-day boats now. San Diego, they've had an incredible year. It's all kind of coming, slowly but surely, kind of slowing down. I don't know if it's the La Nina. I don't know if it's just the time of the year. Usually the fall bite is still really good on exotics like yellowtail and some other species. But right now it's kind of slowing up. Having said that, half-day boats out of San Diego still get some good hits on the sand bass and the calico bass. Some pretty darn good rock fishing going on down there. Good bonito fishing. And every once in a while you get a hit on yellowtail and an occasional sea bass. Not bad up there around Oceanside and Dana Point. We're picking away at the bass and that neck of the woods, catching some rockfish. And up around the LA Orange County area, which you see behind me there, we're picking mostly at sculpin, whitefish, rockfish. Monte Carlo the other day had a few bass. Not bad up Redondo and Marina del Rey. They're picking a few bass, but a lot of rockfish going on. Rockfish flourish in the cooler water. La Ninas are good for the population of rockfish, but a lot of times surface fish don't want anything to do with it. It's just a little bit too cool for them. So we're keeping our eyes on that, and it wouldn't surprise me to see something come roaring back. If you want to fish the Southern California surf, and it looks like a beautiful morning to do it, you have a couple more days to catch the biggest halibut and win that custom beautiful surf fishing rod at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, California, right down there on the corner of Seal Beach and Pacific Coast Highway. All you have to do is go into the store, buy the ruler that they have. Somebody told me it's $15. I thought it was $8. Whatever. You buy the ruler, and then you're in for the rest of the year. And every single month, they give away a free, custom, beautiful surf fishing rod. You can buy all your bait, worms, and anything else you need down there. And they do have tackle not only for surf fishing. They're Southern California's surf fishing headquarters, but they also have everything you'll need for big game marlin fishing or these big bluefin we've got out here. Also, you can get it all down there at Big Fish. Starting down this way, Huntington Beach Pier, there's a lot of sand crabs there you can make. Catch a few corvina down there, some pretty nice perch, cool water, barb perch, that goes hand in hand. So some bigger perch starting to show up. A lot of palm-sized perch, but some bigger ones. Here at Surfside, a little bit of yellowfin croaker. Dan Lightfoot is staring at me right now, somewhere. I have a feeling he's stalking me, and he's staring at me, but he's looking at this thinking, this looks pretty good for some yellowfin croaker, a long cast, maybe a spot fin croaker up in the Santa Monica Bay. We can catch some pretty darn good corvina around the Topaz Rock Jetty and down by the Redondo Pier and up around El Segundo. That water's starting to cool, but relatively speaking, it's pretty warm, and there's been some pretty good corvina fishing going on up there in that neck of the woods. Don't forget, we're going to drop another video here shortly of our trip on the Apollo. It was a great one. We already dropped the interview with Captain Jeff Jessup. Jeff, a dear friend of mine, I know you're going to enjoy that. And of course, recently here, we had Jerry Wade on from 22nd Street Landing. All stuff you're going to want to check out. Have a great day. As always, it's my pleasure to be with you all. The stalker is right there. I told you. And I get a studio audience sometimes, and other times I get a beach audience. Have a great one. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you really, really soon.